T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Let's get ready to sucker!
Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of sun. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, yeah. Big time, big time, big time. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of crime. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind. Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of crime. It's running over with the dollar signs. Try and take it from me. Big time. Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of shine. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of crime. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try and take it from me, from me. Big time, number 9. Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. The numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind.
And what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the YSN Power Hour. This being a Wednesday edition, you know who's here. It's Scotty Mincher down in the bottom right-hand corner. We're also joined by Quinn Pushgar and Eric Bailey. We affectionately refer to him as EB. Even Eric Bailey, just saying it, doesn't feel right coming out of my mouth, the EB, so I'm sorry.
Neither does East Palestine. That's why I call it East Pizzle.
There it is. That didn't take long. Representing the East Pizzle jersey. You'll understand why in just a second. Because, gentlemen, ladies out there, if you're watching, it is National Secondhand Wardrobe Day. Secondhand Wardrobe Day. So got my kind of gears going. And what does that mean? Well, what's your favorite hand-me-down? What's your favorite hand-me-down you've ever received? Mine, I'll start it off. It's right here, man. Actually, it's up there. The senior jersey of DJ Yoakley in East Pizzle with the 31 on the back, the number that made me, quote-unquote, famous in my own mind. I've got both my jerseys. Both of them probably East Palestine knows nothing about, and the statute of limitations is up, so there it is. Quincy, how about you?
I got an old Browns jersey from my dad. That was about it. Other than
Who
that,
was it?
It doesn't even have a name on it. It was 84, so I think from his time, since he's ancient, was Webster Slaughter.
Nice.
But, yeah, other than that, I don't do hand-me-downs.
You don't do hand-me-down, like no thrift
No.
thrift shops or anything like
No,
that?
I don't want to know whose stuff that was before. Like, no.
I can get down on some thrift stores. EB, your thoughts?
Man, I love a good hand-me-down. I mean, like, if my T-shirts aren't free, I feel like I've stolen them from someone. Especially like being a coach, like you just see stuff laying around everywhere and instantly check the size. All right, my size, let's go. My favorite hand-me-down ever was I don't even know who I got it from, but it was 1999 Poland Bulldogs hoodie, and it was just like it was like a double XL, so it is overly large, but it was worn. And you know how it is. Like when you get those hoodies, like the wear and tear, it's just what makes them that much better. So
Free hoodies are the best hoodies, right?
absolutely.
They really are. Scotty.
Yeah, as far as like jerseys or like sports like wear, I don't really have much. I mean, when I was in high school, my senior class gave me my own baseball jersey with my number on it. And then back in 2010, when I would go to the Camel Memorial High School home games, that team gave me my own hoodie. But I'd have to say my favorite hand-me-down that I ever received, and it doesn't fit in today's society because it's not politically correct
Uh-oh.
anymore. But my favorite one, it was this. It was from a family friend, and it was this Chief Wahoo like noise maker. You would hold it in your hand and shake it, and it would open and close his mouth and make it like a really loud, obnoxious noise. So that is probably my favorite hand-me-down.
Another favorite hand-me-down, as we're talking about it. Scotty, it's right behind you. I know you can't see it, but there it is, the Mary's Pizza 3X edition that covers Michael Jordan back there. It's a nice little hand-me-down from, I don't know where it started, but Coach Seidel brought it in and said, hey, here it is. All right, we'll put it up. So if you've got
Jordan
hand-me-downs.
looks good in it, too.
MJ always looks good. Always looks like the GOAT. Right, Quinn?
Whatever you say.
That is our National Day. So happy National Secondhand Wardrobe Day. And if you were curious what other National Day it is today, it's National Banana Split Day, National Kiss and Make Up Day, National Whiskey Sour Day, and National Park Service Founders Day. So if you can figure those out other than Banana Split and Whiskey Sour, good luck. Kiss and Make Up Day, I feel like that's every day here at YSN. Here is your Baird Brothers Would You Rather question of the day. This question, again, brought to you by our friends over at Baird Brothers. Visit them on the web at bairdbrothers.com. This is an interesting one, boys. I'm going to have to make you think on this. You ready? Would you rather retire for a year or play and not score for an entire season? Retire for a year or play but not score for an entire season. Two basketball coaches, that's going to be interesting. Quinn, your thoughts?
Easy. I'll play and not score. That means I get paid. If I retire, I don't get paid. Pay me, and I will sit there and wave a towel like the best towel boy you've ever seen. Especially for what that minimum contract is. Absolutely.
Did you just classify yourself basically as a cabana boy on a basketball team?
Hell yeah. Put me on the end of the bench. I'll wave the towel. Woo. Let's go. Just give me that money.
Oh, my gosh. EB.
It's a tough one because I keep on looking at good old MJ back there and thinking, look, he retired for a year. You're probably still going to get paid for that year. You're going to have some shit lined up that you get paid for it. And if you come back and you can still be the GOAT, I think I'm going to retire for a year. Take the year off, because if you play and you don't, that's the thing. If you don't score, you're still playing.
Your contract goes like that. What if that's a contract year and you don't score?
Yeah, so, dude, I'm going to, I'm just gonna retire and whatever, go banana boat it up with LeBron and the boys and float around on my yacht and drink whiskey sours and eat banana splits and visit East Pizzle, and I'll be happy.
The trifecta right there: banana split, whiskey sour, and East Palestine. I like it. I like it. Scotty.
Yeah, I'm definitely playing here. I mean, first off, I feel like I've been partially retired my whole life because I've been on the IL. So man, I just want to play. I don't care about the money. I just love the game. So give me a chance to play, man.
But you're not going to score.
I just, as long as I'm out there, part of the team, I'll love it, man.
Uh-oh. We'll pull EB. Let's get rid of this EB. Hang on. Remove this one. Bring this one. There we go. We're good. I don't know what happened, EB. We had two. Like, watch this. Bang. Oh, no.
Dude, I had to refresh. Like, it said that my page didn't have enough memory or something. I don't know. It's maybe it didn't like East Pizzle or...
You're a tab guy, like me.
Look, it happens. I'm sorry. It
Won't
happen again.
DJ Rudy only made one tackle in the game, and he's a legend. So yeah.
He was offsides.
He was also offsides. So
stop it, both of you.
And it was Notre Dame.
He was, yeah, and yeah.
Like, I don't have any
the Notre Dame glory days. I'll listen to Potesta talk.
Not right now, you won't.
Nope, not anymore.
Right
Thank God. Get to eat some candy finally. It's great.
Look at the steering wheel cam on the Munson mobile.
That's right. That's right.
Your head's bigger than...
Oh, your head actually looks small for once.
Wow.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It looks like you're going to do carpool karaoke.
That's right. We get to pick up somebody and we start singing.
Paul, the question today, the Would You Rather, brought to you by Baird Brothers, is would you rather retire for a year or play but not score for an entire season?
Obviously, we're talking like, say, basketball.
No, I mean baseball. Like, you don't get a hit for the entire season.
Oh, jeez.
Or if you're a running back, you don't score the entire season.
Wow. I guess I'd probably play because you're getting paid. I mean, if you're not going to get paid, then you retire for a year, unless you've invested well and you got good money saved. Maybe that would be nice to relax for a little bit for a year.
This Paul Munson segment brought to you by WRS Wealth Advisors.
Yeah. Yeah. If I've invested well with WRS, yeah, maybe retiring would be the best thing for a year. Rest your body, get it all taken care of. But if you're hurting for cash, yeah, go out there and play and be a bum for a little bit. But yeah.
So you'd play?
I'm going to say I was smart with my money, so I might retire just to kind of relax and save up the body a little bit and, come back later on.
MJ style. I like it.
Yeah, I'd retire.
I think I would too. I think there'd be, because I'd be worried what happens after a season that you don't score. If you're dependent on and you don't score, like your contract, you're either going to get cut, waived. I mean, look at Gregory Polanco. I mean, the guy makes $1 billion. The Pirates waive him, and they put him in the lineup the same night that they waived him. I mean, they knew nobody was going to take him. You bat 189. That guy is probably never going to be in the major leagues again. If he is, he's not going to bounce back. So I think I'm worried about that. Now, how has he invested his money, Paul? I don't know. Only WRS Wealth Advisors know that. But I would say from a standpoint of if I can retire and come back at a high level and play, I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to retire, come on back, take a year to myself, for my family, do all that stuff, and then roll on back. So I thought this was one of the best.
Right field?
What's that?
Is he the one that tripped against the Mets or something like that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right field, runs like a giraffe.
Yeah. I didn't know he still played.
Yeah, he's batting 189, Quinn. I feel like you could probably go bat 190.
Nah, probably not.
We know one sports broadcaster that could drill it off the opposite wall on an inside pitch, so he can probably do that. So it's interesting to me. I think I'd retire, though. I think I'd retire for the year and come on back. Hopefully, I mean, I think the rest that your body would get from that year would be sufficient to maybe you get an extra year down the road.
See, I took it as myself. Like, I'm not that good. I'm taking the money. I stink. And the year off, like, my body's shot. It's not going to change nothing.
This is just like if you're a high-level basketball player, Quinn, would you take a year off and come back? Or would you just keep on going and you don't score a point? Like, there would be so many flags raised if you were an elite scorer and then all of a sudden you don't score a point.
Well, yeah. I took it as myself, being a turd.
Just imagine you're your buddy LeBum. You're LeBum, and what are you going to do?
Well, you see, if Michael can take a year off, Paul, LeBron can take a year off.
I wish he would take 50 years off right now. I wish LeBron would take 50 years off.
He's recruiting all these geriatrics for the Lakers.
I don't know. It's football season. I could care less right now. I'm in
LeBron and the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Am I watching Power Hour or Chips? Says Gary. Oh, man. I don't like
7 marry 3. 7 marry 3.
The worst part is I don't think anybody could name, other than Paul and Carrie, a person off of Chips.
Poncho, let's go.
Oh, EV comes through in the clutch.
Gotcha.
I don't know anybody on that show.
Which one was William Shatner?
Star Trek.
Yeah, but he was on Chips.
No, he was on TJ Hooker.
Oh, he wasn't on Chips?
No.
I thought he was on Chips. My bad. See?
How
I don't
can
know
Paul
anybody
not
from
be
Chips.
connected to any Wi-Fi?
No, he was on.
and
He
still
was on.
be lagging.
Dude, he's got better Wi-Fi right now in his truck than he does at his home. It's incredible.
It's not
He
even on the
sounds
Wi-Fi
better.
in the truck.
You sound good.
I don't know. It's that silky smooth voice I have.
Oh, the golden pipes. We don't want to hear any. Carrie, I know there's a joke there. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. All right, let's talk some sports today. Again, that was your Would You Rather, brought to you by our friends over at Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Visit them on the web at bairdbrothers.com. Guys, not a whole lot going on locally. Saw some volleyball last night. Good volleyball teams. I'm going to tell you this. Be on the lookout because Dan McKinstry in East Liverpool could tear it up. He's got a good lineup over there. Was it Gerard won last night as well over Lakeview? All those games you can catch the write-ups on ysnlive.com, so check them out. Congratulations to all the volleyball players. Welcome back. Volleyball season's here. Soccer season is here. And, of course, football season is here as well. We'll have more for that, obviously moving into tomorrow's show and into Fridays. But a breaking news that came out earlier today, we will have YSN Primetime live from Cheney tomorrow night at 5 p.m. We'll actually do, some of us will be at the Power Hour from Cheney, 3 o'clock. But we had to move it. Nothing crazy. It was just one of those things where, Hubbard basically said thanks, but no thanks. They want to do things on their terms, and I have nothing but respect for it. Everybody knows how I feel about Kevin Hogue. Love him. Big supporter of what we do. And it's one of those things where, listen, they want to make sure that they keep things going. They keep their kids focused. I get it. I understand it. Thank you. I appreciate you even considering. So Cheney picks up and says, hey, we'll have you guys. I mean, that was a nice conversation for you there, Mr. Munson.
Yeah, Casey, the athletic director there, was all over it, and he was like, "Listen, they're pumped up. They're getting, they're calling it the Antrim Bowl because Coach Antrim's coming back over there. He left Cheney to go to Boardman, and they're fired up. The Cheney kids, they're excited to see him come back, so they want to see it, and they're going to be amped up tomorrow. So practice is going to be going on right behind the show tomorrow, so they're going to be excited. Get some interviews.
We could take them out some shirts, huh? Some YSN shirts. That's all good, right? We can still get out shirts. There's no XLs. That's the only thing. No XLs because Jeff needed.
There's some girls walking around Boardman bars with those things on.
Jeff needed bait for date, so he took our XLs. XL
Hey, ladies,
shirts.
are you an extra large? You extra large? Here's a shirt for you.
You might be a medium,
How about
but
a kiss?
my heart burns for you extra large. So here you go.
Here's a shirt. How
all
about a kiss?
Bait for date. Oh my gosh, Jeffrey. All right, we're going to talk a little pro sports today because with everybody's fantasy football coming up, their drafts coming up, there is a lot, and I mean a lot, to talk about when it comes down to some of these football players. We typically do our own fantasy football draft here. Carrie, don't worry, we won't make it live. You're good. But I will say this. Anybody surprised that Trevor Lawrence has earned the starting job in Jacksonville? And what kind of a circus, for lack of a better terms, is he getting himself into with Travis Etienne now basically out for the season? Quinn, are you surprised T. Lawrence is at the helm in Jacksonville?
No, not at all. I mean, that's the only reason Urban's there in the first place, and he beat out Gardner Minshew. Like, come on. Trevor Lawrence, come on. There's no surprise whatsoever. And, I mean, losing Etienne's going to be a little bit tougher for him. I mean, that's somebody that was pretty good with him at Clemson. But, I mean, they got a good receiving core as it is, and they don't have a terrible backfield. The only thing I was watching a little bit of it was they have next to no line. I mean, they have me, Paul, and 3 Jeffs blocking, basically. So it'll be interesting, I guess, to see how well they protect him. But it's not a surprise to me that he's the starting quarterback.
Do you think Etienne, having him out and that kind of safety valve that he's had throughout his college career, is going to hurt him in the long run?
No, I don't think it'll hurt him in the long run. I think at first it will, because, I mean, you're going to have growing pains. It's Jacksonville. They were 1-15 last year. But I think, he'll be fine. It's still Trevor Lawrence at the end of the day.
EB, your thoughts on Trevor Lawrence getting the starting job?
I mean, hasn't he had like an NFL starting job since his sophomore year of college?
Since high school.
If he didn't start, then there's something wrong. And honestly, like, Minshew isn't a bad backup for him because these NFL defenses, the first 5 weeks, they're going to be super vanilla, and then once you kind of figure out where you're at and you get into I guess your division play and you're kind of looking like, hey, it looks like you get to we're either going to tank or we might make a little push here. Things get a little more complex, I guess. Now, not having Etienne, is it detrimental? Not necessarily, because there's always good veteran running backs you can pick up, and I think sometimes that's going to help him more than anything. Mm-hmm. I think with Etienne, you just kind of lose what you're probably banking on being your 3-down back. So you probably have to do it a little bit more by committee. Trevor Lawrence is going to be fine, especially to start. I think once these defenses catch on and he has to do a little bit more reading, it'll that's where you start to see those interceptions and touchdowns really even out. But he still has a good, receiving core. It's just going to be, is he going to have enough time to throw the ball?
Scotty, how about you? Do you like Trevor Lawrence being the number one out there? Is it surprising to you that he's earned this right?
I wouldn't say it's surprising to me. I thought Urban Meyer, I thought they would come out and say that, Trevor Lawrence would be the starter. As to echo what EB said, I mean, Gardner Minshew, he's not like terrible. I'd say he's average to slightly above average at best. He kind of reminds me of somebody like a Case Keenum that the Browns have as their backup QB. But it just seems like you have your exceptions. I mean, Mahomes sat a whole year before he played, but it just seems like now, for the most part, these top quarterbacks that get drafted and come into go into the pros, into the draft. They just come in and they want them playing right away. And, you could argue how much are you going to learn from sitting on the sideline? And I honestly don't know how much Patrick Mahomes learned even when he sat. I mean, I think a lot of it he's just so physically gifted. Alex Smith helped him a little bit, but that only goes so far. But to close on this, I've never been huge on the Trevor Lawrence train. I do think he'll be a good quarterback. I don't see him as being this star like a lot of people think he's going to be. I think he'll be serviceable, but I think he's a little bit overrated. Just
Ooh. All right, Scotty. I see the hot take there. Chris Ziegler says Sony Michel being dealt to the Rams proves running backs are to be had. Backup quarterback market is one to watch as well. That being said, Scotty, I made a statement to you earlier today, which I'll stand by. I think, and I'm looking on ESPN right now, and it's all over the news, it says that the Steelers quarterback stuff up for grabs as Haskins is going to start to prove himself as the backup quarterback. Mason Rudolph will not play, neither will Ben Roethlisberger. So, I think, I'm just going to put a theory out there. Browns fans, get ready. I think that they are going to get Mason Rudolph. The Browns will acquire Mason Rudolph via trade. Haskins will be the backup to Roethlisberger, and they'll keep Josh Dobbs as well. But I got to believe, I have no reason, I have no inside source, but to me, Mason Rudolph being a Brown just kind of makes everything come together, makes everything make sense. So Mason Rudolph, I think, will be your new backup quarterback in Cleveland to, of course, Baker Mayfield, which makes Billy...
I'll tell you what, I would... Just that storyline alone, I think, is worthy enough for the Browns to be on Hard Knocks again, like next year. Like that would be something. That would be wild. Him and Miles. I mean, they say they kiss and made up. They said it publicly, but I think there's still like a lot of animosity there.
Put their lockers next to each other, see what happens. Quinn, do you like the Browns' backup situation right now? Case Keenum?
It's better than Mason Rudolph. I don't want Rudolph. I don't want that disaster coming into the locker room.
Dude can take a hit, especially if it's a helmet.
I mean, that's fine and dandy. I don't really care. I mean, I'll take Case Keenum personally. I've just been trying to think of when the last time they actually had a trade between each other other than the Joe Hayden trade.
Joe Hayden's the only one I can remember.
I was trying to think of one. I can't think of one, at least in my lifetime.
That turned out all right for both teams, the Steelers especially. I mean, Brown said that Hayden was done. Hayden?
I don't even know what the Browns got in that.
I think they got a sack of potatoes and like a shredder.
Like, that was stupid.
Yeah, that was a bad deal for the Browns.
Dude, no, stop.
They get draft picks, and the draft picks turned into being the
all I heard about was
30th pick in the draft.
Joe Hayden stinks. Joe Hayden stinks. We're so happy he's gone. Da 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 da.
I know. When did I say this?
When did I say that? I like
every
Joe
Browns
Hayden,
fan said it when he was
Justin
on your team.
Gilbert was the only other quarterback or cornerback. Are you kidding me? I would have taken Joe Hayden on one leg over half those corners.
And he's still decent. He's not.
Yeah, but he wants to stay in Pittsburgh.
He's trying to stay in Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh's saying, well, we'll see how it goes. EB, you've got your own quarterback controversy down in Dallas. Some people saying Dak Prescott might not play the entire season. What happens if your billion-dollar quarterback does not play?
I mean, if you're Dallas, you kind of sit there and wish you would have traded him, last year or 2 years ago when his stock was at an all-time high. I don't even know who their backup quarterback's going to be. I don't even know who it's going to be, but
is it Gilbert, I think.
there's Gilbert and there's
Gilbert.
some
Gilbert came from the Browns. I remember that.
some other dude that they drafted in like the 6th round or something like that. But I mean, part of me, any time that it has to deal with Dak or drama or quarterback drama in Dallas, it's just because they want headlines. It's the Dallas way. It's like the New York Yankees. They got to talk about something. No, the pinstripes were off the Yankees jersey, so you know, let's write a huge freaking article about it. It's sort of same thing with Dallas. You know, he had some shoulder soreness. Everything that I've read since then, you know, he's fine. They're just limiting him. But if he doesn't play, honestly, whatever quarterback you are, or if you're, this is where you start to see like guys come out of retirement for this, because look at the receiving core. You have a receiving core. You still have a good running back, actually 2 good running backs with Tony Pollard, and also you still have Zeke. And if the offensive line stays healthy this year, you know, you still have one of the top tier lines in the NFL.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, still more NFL talk. We're also going to talk a little bit about where we're going to be tonight. We'll have the chance to come out and meet some of our local talents, such as Quinn Pushkar, Steve Leslie. Is Betos going to be out there?
Lord knows. I'm about to put a tracker on him. I have no idea where he's at.
Bring your autograph book, because Coach's Corner heads to Coco's Pizza tonight in Canfield. We'll let you know how you can get involved and who's going to be there tonight. Quinn will fill you in on that. All of that and more. And Munson returns on the YSN Power Hour when we return right here on YSN.
We are there in your community. Small business owners, mechanics, police officers, homemakers, and we are there serving our nation in the Air Force Reserve. When medical emergencies arise, in cybersecurity, when natural disasters happen, we are there in space. We are Reserve Citizen Airmen, and we are there with over 180 different jobs to serve your country. Air Force Reserve.
Working with your family can be stressful at times, but because they're family, you know that you're going to get a loving, honest answer, even when things don't make sense to any problem. Dealing with Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming. That's why here at Myers Family Insurance, we do our best to give you honest and caring answers to all of your questions. Family, like Medicare, isn't always perfect, but when you put others first, the results can be amazing.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance.
Hi everyone, this is DJ Yoakley with Your Sports Network. We appreciate your support of YSN and welcome you to the YSN family. Our broadcast streams are brought to you live at no cost to you by sponsors that are local to this community. Without the vision and generosity of our sponsors and partners, we would not be able to bring this game to you today. So please support the great businesses and leaders that are making this game possible. And if you're a business in need of great advertising and sponsorship opportunities, feel free to head over to our site for more information on the right fit for you. We are local, we are loyal, and we are live. We are YSN.
News doesn't stop after the sun goes down. Sometimes you just have to hustle to get it. At 21 News, no matter how far it is, no matter what it takes to get there, we're working to bring you the best stories and the freshest content at 11 p.m. with the context and clarity that makes it worth staying up for, no matter what time it is. 21 News at 11 with me, Aaron Simonek, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 11, news that's worth your time.
And welcome back to the YSN Power Hour. There's Paul back in it and safely home, which is good. You never want to be texting and driving, but Paul wasn't. We had the steering wheel cam, and now your microphone sounds like crap again.
Really?
Yeah, we got to get you a better microphone. I'll make that first priority for Brian to get you a better microphone.
All right.
I'm sure he'll appreciate that. Just one more thing to add to his plate. Welcome back again, YSN Power Hour here on this Wednesday. Scotty Mincher joins us. Sammy Coates and Justin Gilbert were trades between the Browns and Steelers. What? Really?
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
I don't even remember Sammy Coates ever playing for the Browns.
I don't remember him playing for the Steelers, to be honest with you.
I don't remember Gilbert playing for the Steelers.
That's interesting. I don't remember that at all. Amo with
Must
a little
have been
bit
one
of
of those
knowledge
ones where you
drop.
could just trade him, cut him.
Yeah, see you later. Get out. Just go to Cleveland or go to Pittsburgh.
Go to Detroit.
Yeah, go to Detroit. That's Jeff loves that stuff. Boys, tomorrow, YSN primetime, as we talked about, going to be at Cheney. So you can come on out for that if you want to support the Cheney Cowboys, talk a little Cowboys football. We're also going to talk about the other games on the agenda, but we're excited. Casey's excited, and the boys are excited to have us out there. We'll be talking football. Steve Leslie, Todd Thorne, and a whole bunch of other people will be joining. You never know who's going to jump in the seat there on location. Paul, you're always welcome, as everybody is. Scotty, Quinn, you'll be there. EB, you're welcome as well. So come on out, have a good time. But tonight, let's get to tonight. Quinn, you are going to be where tonight with the legend that is our general manager?
Yeah, so Steve's going to be doing some Canfield interviews tonight at Coca's Pizza out in Canfield on what's that, Shields, I believe. Shields and 46 on the corner there. He's going to have Coach Pav, and he's going to have Toby Smith, one of the Canfield football players, and he's going to be doing some Canfield golf as well. He's going to have, I believe, Coach Kerensky and a couple of his golfers coming by.
Which is very cool, and I think that's neat. I got to experience it on Monday when we did the Coca's Pizza Coach's Corner and Player Profiles for Boardman. I like it live. I like it at a restaurant. I just can't wait to see people really adopt this and kind of ask questions from the crowd, because I think that's where it's going to be really cool. Steve does a great job, like an unbelievable job of asking questions, but he does an even better job of handling crowd versus like players and coaches, like his interviewee. So I'm excited for that. So what time does that start tonight, Quinn?
Right around 7 o'clock. As always, it's whenever Steve arrives. So the goal is to be there by 7.
7 o'clock, and we go live at 7 o'clock. Is that correct?
Yes.
So we'll go live at 7 o'clock. So make sure you are out there, Coca's Pizza in Canfield, right on the patio, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do that from the patio, and you can ask your questions to Coach or the players or the golfers or whoever's out there. You can be part of the show. You can take it in live. Get some great food while you're at it. So, again, Coca's Pizza tonight in Canfield starts at 7 o'clock. So make sure you make your reservations, if you will, for the YSN Coach's Corner and Player Profiles for Canfield High School. Paul, did you say you were going to crash it?
No, I said, or he handles crashes very well, too.
Oh.
That lady hit the thing. You guys have a tent? Is it under a tent?
The way Coca's is set up, it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like an outdoor patio bar thing where like they open up all the windows and doors and stuff, and it's kind of an outdoor seating thing. It's weird. It's like it's attached to the building. I don't know how to explain it.
Meteorologist Paul Munson,
it's not
I think, is leveraging towards. I think it's going to rain.
It
will be fine.
Pouring right now.
Is it?
Oh yeah. I know it looks all great there, and it looked beautiful when I left the school, and I turned on to 46, and it was a massive dark cloud. And as soon as I got onto Raccoon Road, it just opened up and poured from the entire way until I got home. So, and I looked at the weather, and it's supposed to do that until at least 8 o'clock.
Paul, what are you using to look at your weather, may I ask?
Channel 21's weather app.
Storm Tracker 21?
That's right.
Yeah! Got it. Download your Storm Tracker 21 app wherever you download your applications, or apps, as we call
lied and said I was using the Snowbird app. You know,
we're gonna get that Snowbird costume. We're gonna get it. Guys, we were talking about the NFL before the break. Here's some breaking news out of the NFL as well. Kind of surprising. Teddy Bridgewater named the Broncos starter over Drew Lock. Surprising to you? Nobody cares.
No,
nobody cares.
Sorry.
He's kind of a bum, but I don't know. Bridgewater, like, you know what you're getting. Like, he's okay. He's not great. They have a lot of good players and pieces on that roster. They just don't have a quarterback in Denver. I don't know. I know Drew Lock made some flash plays in the preseason, but he hasn't shown it when it matters.
No Teddy Two Gloves should start over Drew. Is that no Teddy Two Gloves should start over Drew, or no time ever Teddy Two Gloves should start over Drew? I don't know which way to go with that. Wait, just not a surprise.
Fangio.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, is anybody ever surprised with the Broncos anymore?
Nope.
They just
Not
kind of do
since
what they
Peyton
want.
left.
Yeah, they got their Super Bowl. They're good, right? Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about?
This guy always comments on our evolution of beards. Always. Although he is right. We do have it on today. Quinn's got the grown man beard.
So do you think
I like
like
what Scotty's got rocking over there?
Chops.
the chops?
Mutton chops. 70s style.
That's right.
Do you think in Denver, like, they have dispensaries outside the stadium and they're like, look, all the fans are just going to hit this up before they come in. They won't even care. Like,
I mean, I don't know.
That's
Is Denver a good football fan base?
I haven't heard anybody complain about the Broncos in a long time.
those people, they got to be so mellow out. They're probably, yeah, man, just do whatever.
Just chilling. We got a football team, y'all. Yeah.
Go Rockies, man. Like, what? I've never, like, it's not a rabid fan base to begin with. Like, has anybody ever seen, literally, a Broncos, I've never seen two Broncos fans together, other than in their stadium.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and Elway's still, like, one of their high executives still, isn't he?
Yeah. Isn't
He's
he
making all the decisions, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so he's like the GM. I mean, you'd think he'd be pissed losing, but I guess not.
He got a Super Bowl. He don't care.
That was, what, 6 years ago?
Didn't they get
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
Not even, because Peyton just got, that would have been 5 years ago.
No, 2013, I think it was.
they've been a.
Didn't he won the Super Bowl and then retired?
Yeah.
So that would have been 5 years. Because
maybe it
this is
was
his
5.
first ballot Hall of Fame, so it would have been 5 years. At least I think so, according to my math.
Yeah, it was after 2013. I think.
Or you know what? Yeah, it was because that's when they lost to Seattle. You're right.
Who lost to Seattle?
Denver. It was like 38-6 or something like
Then
that.
then they went back and beat Carolina.
I don't even remember
Yeah.
Denver being in
Super
another
Bowl
Super
50.
Bowl.
I think it was Super Bowl 50 that it was.
It was
Whatever that
Super Bowl 50, which was probably 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Sure.
'Cause
I
Isn't
don't know.
this Super Bowl 56 coming up?
I don't know. I get lost on the number system there.
I always know what year it is for the Super Bowl, what year it's in, because it's the same age as my parents. So that's how I always know. So I'm really not looking forward to like Super Bowl like 70, because then I'll know they're like almost gonna die. It's kind of scary.
Oh, man. Get up to Scotty. The Broncos won 97 and 98, and then 2015, and it was Super Bowl 50. So they won
97,
back-to-back
98, that was Elway and
That was
Terrell
back
Davis?
to back with Elway. That's when he dove in the end zone and did the helicopter, and then
Like Petey
and then he
Pablo.
finally retired. And then
This one's for John. Like, all right, buddy, calm down. Yeah, I don't know. Like, does it matter? Like, are we gonna see another? I don't mind Teddy Bridgewater.
That was the last time they made the playoffs, too. By the way, they have not made the playoffs since 2015.
It's because they don't have Peyton Manning and his broken freaking neck.
They had a terrible quarterback situation for the past couple of years.
Do you remember when Jake Plummer was the quarterback there?
I do. Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake.
He stunk.
And they had Clinton Portis, too.
I remember as a little kid that Rose.
For crying out loud, they put Tim Tebow in there.
All right, I don't need to live any nightmares, man. Like
Listen,
I
that was
remember
just terrible. Hang his hat on. He won one important game while he was there, and that was it.
But it wasn't even
a
him.
garbage
It was just terrible coverage.
Awful coverage.
Yeah, it was just
That's all he
awful
can say that
coverage.
he
That's the
didn't
only
get.
reason that it happened.
Ike Taylor, I believe, if I'm not. Jay
It was
Cutler.
Ike Taylor.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Cutler.
Do you see he's suing his wife? Or his
Yeah.
ex-wife? Because she's got more money than he does now?
Yeah,
that's the Hills girl, right?
Yeah.
And he should win a lot of it too.
Didn't they have Brock Osweiler too?
Yeah, they had Osweiler, Kyle Orton, Tebow, Cutler.
It's
been a disaster.
Who was the other guy? Paxton Lynch.
Paxton Lynch, Trevor Simeon was there. Yeah, they've had a lot of bad quarterbacks.
They're almost as bad as the Browns.
They're getting
Almost.
Keyword.
They didn't have a guy named Spurgeon throwing for them though, so.
Baker's the first quarterback to start 3 years in a row since Bernie. Eat that, Billy Mack.
I think Baker's also the only quarterback to make it to the second contract since Bernie.
Unbelievable. That's so sad. Makes you feel good as a Steelers fan because we've had good old reliable.
It's their own fault. I mean, they haven't had an offensive line that was solid on both sides.
Then I never want to hear anything about Joe Thomas ever again.
Both sides. Joe Thomas was great until you found out that he can just run on the other side, and it was a sieve.
Are
Start
you guys
lining everybody
buying?
up over there? Just rush 11 on that side.
Are you guys buying T.J. Watt being the highest paid defensive player in football? Because that's what it sounds like it's going to be.
Good for him.
He deserves it. He's this pains me to say as a Browns fan, but he's better than Myles Garrett. The only defensive player you could say is maybe better is Aaron Donald, but that's it. He deserves it.
I mean, I think he should be the highest paid player, defensive player in football. He's so
Him or
dynamic.
Donald.
Well,
Him or Darnold. Those are the only two that I could think should be worth what they're getting paid.
Yeah, I mean, outside of those two, who else would you even throw? Like, you have those two, but then...
Who was that guy that they signed to a big contract?
Jamal Adams could be up there.
The Washington football team. They signed his quarterback.
Albert Hainsworth?
Corner.
Oh.
I did it too, Quinn. I'm sorry.
Josh Norman?
Yeah.
Josh Norman. That's exactly who it is. That dude. Remember he came from Carolina, got this huge contract in Washington, and just kind of fell off?
Yeah, he stunk after
real
that.
quick.
I'm just interested how
OBJ's
these contracts...
side to the head ended that run for Josh Norman.
These contracts change up everything for these players sometimes. I hope that's not the case with T.J. Watt. Aaron Donald is fun to watch. I love watching him as a former defensive lineman. But, I mean, I think the Steelers have it figured out where it's just as important on the other side who you have, because you need somebody that's going to fill it, because they're going to try to take T.J. Watt out of the equation. The Browns did it with Jadeveon Clowney on the other side of Garrett, right? So now you have T.J. Watt, you have Melvin Ingram, you have I'm trying to think of the other guy that's over there. Oh,
Isn't it Cam Hayward?
Cam Hayward, but he's a defensive end. So the edge rushers, like the Steelers figured it out. They better find somebody to be a rusher, pass rusher, outside of T.J. Watt, because I remember they were going for J.J. Watt. Highsmith, thank you, B-Mac. I appreciate it. I knew he was going to come through with it. B-Mac sending me like Tomlinisms at 11:30 at night now. I love it. My guy, anytime there's breaking news for the Steelers, I know B-Mac's going to be right there. Are you guys ready for NFL football? Like, I still feel like it's way too early for this.
I still feel it's...
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was early last week for high school football. Like it just doesn't... I don't know. It just... I'm glad it's all back because it's obviously giving us something to do, but it just seems... I don't know if it's because it's still like 90 degrees or if everything kind of got bumped up or what, like, or maybe just, with all of last year, everything kind of blended together, but it feels, something feels off about it. Like it's just not there yet.
Here's a question that I had last night that Chris Sigler did the game with me, and I asked him, and he's never seen it either, that he can remember. have you ever seen, like, you know how we see all these leg cramps in week 1 and see all the timeouts? Have you ever seen that in a volleyball game?
No.
Because I haven't, and it was warm. It was warm in some of those gyms last night. Like, obnoxiously warm. But I've never seen a stoppage of play for, leg cramps in a volleyball game. You'd think with as much as they use it with the jumping and the going forward and backward and laterally, you'd think that you would see that more, correct?
Yeah. I mean, especially being, like you said, indoors and not a lot of fresh air rolling around. So, yeah, I guess I never thought about that. You don't see a lot of girls cramping up in volleyball. So, compared to what you see in football, I mean, especially on the back end in the late third, fourth quarters, I mean, guys are hitting the ground left and right. I mean, I may have saw a kid or two last week, in some games purposely do it. I saw a couple kids like stood up and all of a sudden they're like, oh, they're laying down and their legs up and somebody walks over and then as soon as they like get over and talk to them, they're like, okay, and they pop back up and walk off the field. I'm like,
I saw one on tape. It was a man in motion, right? A wide receiver that goes in motion, got to about where the guard and center are, and just straight down, grabs the back of his leg, and you knew exactly what it was. You knew it was a cramp, but it was like a quad cramp, hamstring cramp. Like those, if you ever get those hamstring cramps, I feel like an old man in bed, and like you just move your leg the wrong way, and all of a sudden you like kick out, like you're at 2.5 in the WWE, you kick out.
The calf cramps are the worst at night. You get one of those, it like wakes you up.
Oh, toe cramp?
Never a toe cramp. Calf.
I got all kind of cramp. I'm always kicking out because sitting in the same position all day, I gotta kick, man.
Salem was in the same spot B-Mac's talking about. Garfield's gym for volleyball, no air at all. It was brutal. Said they can't turn it on. I don't know what that is. Floortow was the MVP last night. He's exactly right.
That's a question I have. Can these gyms not turn on the air in the summer? Like Salem doesn't have air to begin with.
So, is that true?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we don't have air conditioning in the gym.
Oh,
that's surprising because usually when I'm in there, it's freezing.
Poor, I thought Freeman was joking with me that they didn't have air conditioning. What?
No, if you ever look, we have the big fans, but we don't have air.
Wow. I thought I was pulling my leg.
Schools, it's tough to see that a lot of older schools don't have air conditioning.
What about Boardman? Jeff would be the one to ask.
Yeah.
South Range does.
Yeah, but it's a newer school though.
So
it's only about 10, maybe 11 years old. So, I mean, our old building didn't. Oh, that was terrible.
I'd be surprised if Boardman does. That's a big gym to air condition.
And that's an older school too.
Yeah, that's a big gym.
Well, I know they don't turn it on, obviously, like during wrestling matches, because kids are cutting weight and they're running around in trash bags and all that stuff.
Like, I was just talking to Tori Long about this last week, and they were talking how hot Columbiana's gym is, and I was like, dude, I swear that place has air conditioning. Like, at least I want to say it did when I was in school, but then it's like she started to make me question myself if it really did, because I've never been in there during the summer when the air's been on either.
The big fans that they have. I feel like every school has like 6 of those that they run in their gyms in case, or if they don't have AC. I didn't see any of those fans last night, and like I was asking Sigler, I was like, do they cramp up as well from this? Because it's from motion and it's from different motion. It's not necessarily from just kind of hanging out. You know what I mean? But like, you think between breaks, because there's more sets, obviously. There's at least 3 sets in every volleyball match, but I've never seen it. And it just absolutely puzzled me. Absolutely puzzled me. Here we go. Coach Seidel, Brook Gym in Sebring is not air-conditioned. Back in the day, it was by design. Now it's just annoying. Mardell says, I don't think it does. Summer League basketball was always brutal. And he's talking about Columbiana.
Maybe it doesn't. I thought it did, but I could be wrong. I mean, probably the only one that I ever think of that has air conditioning around here is, I know, West Branch. Well, their middle school does. I'm not sure if their 2 their field house and their other one does. Does Lisbon has AC?
I think so.
Lisbon
yeah.
has air conditioning.
Yeah, because you can hear it when Quinn was in the gym.
Yeah, it's right above our bench.
So my last question for you guys before we get to What's Your Spark, brought to you by Joe Dickey Electric, is name one thing in your life that was, is, or will forever be worse than getting a cramp while playing a sport. EB.
For me, it was a knee injury in high school. like I can remember every detail, how much time was on the clock, where it happened at, whole 9 yards. That, like, the burn that was in my knee when that was happening, like tearing those ligaments, is probably the most. It's so hard to explain because it's the most uncomfortable feeling in the world. Like, no matter what you do, it's just a dull burn, but it and when I say dull, it's not even dull because it's just terrible. That would probably be the worst thing. At least that's ever happened to me.
Yep. Scotty, how about you?
Well, I don't know how far I could go with this on the air. So I'm just going to say that one time a while back, somebody gave me a special brownie, and it did not turn out well. Not at all. By far the worst experience of my entire life. By far. Nothing else is close.
Scott, you're fun as hell, like, normal. I can't imagine when you were, like, high.
I was seeing lightning rods and shit. It was just awful.
Don't do drugs. There it is. There's your PSA from Scotty Mitcher. Quinn, worse than a cramp.
Incredible.
Anything.
Kind of the same route as Eric. It was my ankle. I screwed it up really bad. I actually have a picture of it on my phone. I'll show you guys afterwards if you want.
No thanks.
But it was, it's the most miserable pain I've ever been in my life. And kind of like what Eric was saying, no matter how you move, no matter what you do, you feel it. You can't, sometimes you could position yourself to kind of ease pain. You can't on some of these things, and it was brutal.
Paul?
Well, I'm going to hit the trifecta on the triangle here because mine was blowing my knee out, and it was after high school, right after I graduated, playing softball, and went to plant, got caught in a rundown, turned, and it was just pop, and immediately just hit the ground, and it was done. I mean, and the bad thing for me was I had no insurance, so I never got the ACL fixed. I just put a brace on it and just, kept on trucking. But yeah, I mean, it's to this day at 43, it still aches, it's sore, and they told me by 50 I'll have a knee replacement. But I mean, yeah, like Quinn said, it doesn't matter which way you turn and try to make it feel better, it doesn't. I was more pissed. Not only that I did it, I was more pissed off that the team tagged me out and then said, "He's hurt, come fix him." And I'm like, laying on the ground there, like knees twisted a different way, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And they tagged me out first and then called timeout so I could get off the field.
It's the old trick play.
Yeah. Okay? Yeah, okay, you're out.
Let's go to our friends over at Joe Dickey Electric. Hit it. What's Your Spark? Presented by DickeyElectric.com. Our friends over at Joe Dickey Electric. Anything commercial, anything residential, anything electrical. Visit them on the web at DickeyElectric.com. Quinn, start us off.
My spark's getting to be a positive one. I get to go hang out with Steve Leslie all night. That alone is enough. And, throw in a little sprinkling of Jeff, and Lord knows what could happen.
Is Jeff coming?
I have no idea, but if it's at a restaurant and certain things are there, I'm sure Jeff will show up.
Apps. All right, let's let Scotty have the last laugh here. Muntz, what do you have for a spark today?
I hate having two negative ones in a row from yesterday to today, but mine's a negative one. And I saw this article this afternoon, and I was reading about it. And the guy who was on the cover as a baby of the Nirvana album, he's suing Nirvana and like 15 other people for $2.2 million because he said that he never authorized the picture to be used on the album, even though he was 4 months old when it was taken. He says that it was child pornography and that they're profiting off of peddling child porn, and that he feels abused and that his life is not the same. He's 30 years old, says that it's affected his wages in the past and will affect his future wages because people know that that's him on the cover of the album. Dude, you're 30 freaking years old. Nobody knows that you're the baby unless you're out there telling them you're the baby. I didn't even know the baby's name. Didn't even know the guy's name who it was. And I'm a Nirvana fan, bought the album, have it, listened to the music. I could have given a shit less who the guy was on the album. He at the 10-year anniversary, he did another picture in a pair of shorts, but he took a picture. On the 25th anniversary, he did another photo shoot acting like he was in the water. So when it was convenient for you to take pictures and be a part of this, it was great. Now all of a sudden, some dickhead lawyer said, you know what? I think you might have been abused by taking this picture as a little kid because your little Willie was showing. You're traumatized, aren't you? You need money for this. Get the blank out of here, you pussy. Get it. I mean, come on.
You censored the one word, but not the... All right, there it is. Maybe I should have had Paul go last. Sorry, EB, follow that.
Smells like a lot of teen spirit right there. Dude, I don't know how to follow that up right now. That totally just threw me off. Look, I have two sparks. One's a negative. Whoever this Anna chick is from Verizon that's texting me about this stupid ass upgrade, leave me alone. Like, you don't have to text me every day. Spell my name right, damn it. And my positive spark is obviously a lot of people know I work with Ohio basketball and we run for Roses, and just some events that we have coming up with Roses here in this next year. I can't really say too much, but some of the partnerships and some things that we have to, further make this experience for these kids looking to go not only to college, but it's just an experience that they get to enjoy even if you're not looking to go to college. Outside of a state championship game, I don't think there's anything better. I think it's a lot of cool things that's going to happen for some of these girls and people who get to attend next year.
Awesome. Love hearing that. Anytime it betters the chances for kids to advance their careers, we're all for it. For me, it's going to be, I can go one of two ways here. I'm going to go positive, and I'm going to go welcome Garrettsville Garfield to the family. Unofficially, we haven't done up the promo yet, but I had a talk with their athletic director. He said, listen, we're all in. We are all in on YSN. There's nothing better after a day like we had today than somebody saying, we love what you do, and we're all in. Let us know how we can help. We'll sign the papers. Welcome, G-Men, to YSN. We're excited to have you. I think you're going to like it. All right, Scotty, bring us home.
Nothing too crazy today. I guess my filet is before my parents left on vacation this week, I got to celebrate, or my spark, I should say.
That's okay.
I got to celebrate my mom's birthday, but at the same time, it was a negative because I missed the high school football action and audible call, so that can't happen again. Only for Mom, I make these exceptions because some things are more important than football, but not that many, so it can happen again.
That is your What's Your Spark, presented by our friends over at Joe Dickey Electric. Visit them today at DickeyElectric.com. For all these guys, I'm DJ. Listen, we'll see you Thursday. It's prime time at 5. It's YSN Power Hour at 3. We'll see you live from Cheney. Anything, final comments, boys?
West Side!
Peace, Hair Grease. We'll see you next time.